Mick Maynard, if you're watching this video, if any of these UFC matchmakers are watching this, I'm going to make your life so easy. You don't need to hire me. You can just take my advice for free. You don't have to pay me shit. I'm going to make your life so easy because I know all of the perfect fights that need to happen for the outcome of the last card of 2025, Royval versus Kape. These are all the fights that need to be made. And we're going to start in the bottom with none other than Ozempic Queso.
You suck at life!
Steven Asplund, Concrete Asplund. Who should he fight next? I was looking at the heavyweight rankings. There's only 30 fighters. I don't want them to do what they did with Talus and Teixeira and move him up really fast and give him a big name like Derek Lewis. But I don't want to see him waste his time fighting bottom of the barrel scrubs like Elisha Ellison or Jimenez or some of these new guys that just came in. Louis Sutherland. They don't need to do that. So I was thinking Mick Parkin. It makes sense. Mick Parkin had a horrible previous fight against Marcin Tybura. Mick Parkin doesn't have good output. He's shy. He doesn't like to throw shit. But heavyweight Holloway here, Steve Asplund, he does like to throw shit. And it just takes one fighter to be proactive, to have an entertaining fight. He's got to be careful of the big, meaty counters because that's what caught Lucas Brzeski, and that's what made him get knocked out by Piggy Parkin. Piggy Parkin. So, Asplund versus Parkin, it makes sense. And I think Parkin's ranked, which is so weird. Just goes to show how shit heavyweight is. Parkin is ranked. I think he's like 14, last I checked. So, or no, he's 13. If you go on the website, he's 13. So, yeah, this is the fight to make. I don't really think Asplund's going to last that long. But we'll enjoy the memes while we can. Next, Yaroslav Amosov. Great debut. He's not like these Aaron Pico or Bummy Mix guys, where Aaron Pico literally fought number 4, Lerone Murphy. Bummy Mix fights ranked Mario Batista. Neil Magny wasn't ranked, but he is a good gatekeeper, and the gate has been passed. But now, because this guy is 29-1, put him up there. Sean Brady. It makes sense. Sean Brady's off a loss. 2 really good grapplers. This is the fight to make. It makes perfect sense. And because it makes perfect sense, you know they're not going to do it. They're going to waste Amosov's time. They're going to put him up against a washed-up Gilbert Burns, perhaps. You know, that's what they're going to do. It sucks. It's horrible. Because who else is Sean Brady going to fight? Welterweight's kind of locked in and booked right now. They could do JDM versus Brady, but no, I'm not interested in that. Not interested in that. We got 2 grappling submission artists right here. It makes perfect sense. This is how they should do these Bellator guys from now on. You give them an unranked, decent gatekeeper, and then you can push them up. These guys that have been champions for a very long time, they should have signed this guy a while ago. A few years ago would have been better. He had a recent knockout loss against a tall, lanky Jamaican, and that's what I was scared with Neil Magny, because Neil Magny's also tall and lanky. But no, beautiful anaconda choke, and Sean Brady also had a similar choke to Leon Edwards. So book him up. Ukrainian versus American. Slava Ukrainie. That's the fight to make. We move on. Kevin Vallejos. L call out for Cub Swanson. We don't want to see Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson's about to be a 44-year-old man. He doesn't need to be fighting anymore. Okay, he needs to retire. But I'll do you one slightly better. If you want to fight old men, if you want to be an elder abuser and abuse these men in the nursing homes, you can fight Josh Emmett, who is 40 years old. Not as old as Cub, but just had a bad night against Yusuf Zalal recently. First round armbar, taps out very fast. You don't have to worry about arm bars with Kevin Vallejos. He's there to scrap. Two scrappy guys, similar height, similar build. They're there to throw bombs. They're there to throw big, fat, juicy, meaty hooks. And meat is expensive now. I go to the grocery store, the meat prices are insane, so we need some big, fat, meaty hooks. We don't want to see Cub Swanson. Kevin Vallejos, he's moving up. He's like, what, 6-fight win streak now? If he beats Josh Emmett, who's like number 12, number 13, okay, then you give him somebody in the top 10. If he beats him, then somebody in the top 5, and then title shot. That's how it goes. Okay? Beautiful performance against Giga Chikadze. But we all knew that was going to happen. I can't say the same thing with Josh Emmett. Like, you want to pick the guy that's younger. He's got the youth. But Josh Emmett, you can't count out Josh. He's had brutal knockouts in his career. Against Michael Johnson, against Bryce Mitchell. Against a lot of guys. And it only seems that submissions are his weakness. Like Yair Rodriguez and Yusuf Zalal. So, it's a perfect stylistic matchup. Guaranteed fireworks. Please do it. They have to do it. I mean, Mick Maynard, in my opinion, he has the best job in the world. To be the chief matchmaker of the UFC. Him and Hunter. Please just do it. But we move on to our Hyperborean warrior, Milky Zale Costa. He also needs to fight somebody ranked at featherweight. It's time. No more unranked guys. He's on a 5-fight win streak. And I was looking at the rankings, if not Josh Emmett, if not some of these other guys that have fights booked, I was thinking Yair Rodriguez, but he's like number 6, and Rodriguez isn't going to take a fight against a guy that's not ranked. He's very picky with who he fights. So, Dan Ige is always down for shit. That'll be a good test. Dan Ige is always down for a scrap. I think he's ranked 14, so it'll be a good entrance for Milky Costa. Do it on a, I was going to say a pay-per-view event, but there's no more pay-per-views. Do it on a numbered UFC event with a big live audience. No more Apex for Milky Zale Costa. Get him out there. I know he's out there with Andre Fili, but we don't want to see Milky Costa in the Apex. I am now on the Milky Costa hype train. Great chin, as we saw against the Steve Garcia fight, and his UFC debut against RDA, and he took it on short notice. So his only real legitimate loss was Steve Garcia in the UFC, at least. And he took a lot of damage, and he kept going. So, and Steve Garcia is legit, and I don't want to see that rematch anytime soon. So Dan Ige is perfect for it, and it's been a while since he fought as well. So get him in there. Luana Santos. Bantamweight, right? There's a lot of Brazilians in women's bantamweight. I'm thinking she's hot. She's got a nice ass, but who has a better ass than Luana Santos? Who has a better Brazilian bunda? None other than the queen herself, Norma Jamont. Please do that fight. Norma Jamont had an iffy decision in her previous fight. I can't even remember who she fought. I just remembered a lot of people thought she lost. So she's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. They got to get through Triple H and Nunes. They have to have that one. And if that's a big war, they might even do a rematch, depending on who wins and how it plays out. So Norma Jamont's not going to get a title shot. And Norma Jamont used to fight at featherweight. That was a big bitch. She fought Megan Anderson at featherweight. And Luana Santos used to fight at flyweight. So lighter woman skill up against big woman. Let's see how it plays out. There's going to be a lot of jiggling. A lot of eye candy. Hopefully they wear some nice tight shorts. Because Norma Jamont, unfortunately, she doesn't wear tight shorts. There's two different type of women MMA fighters. The one that wear the baggy pants, and the ones that they're like Tracy Cortez. Rose Namajunas doesn't wear the Tracy Cortez shorts. Some of these women, they're very insecure and they don't like to show off their assets. I wish oh my God, can you imagine if Norma Jamont wore those tight shorts? And she had like a heavy ground game while she's like on side mount, and the camera angles like right there while her knees like far apart, and you could see like the wide gap. It's like Mackenzie Dern. You can see Mackenzie Dern. She is shameless. Tracy Cortez is shameless. Some of these women are shameless. I wish Norma Jamont was shameless, but she's not. Norma Jamont has class. I have to say, Norma Jamont is probably wifey material. Just not a big fan of the tattoos, but that's okay. That's the fight to make. And make it mandatory for both of them to wear very tight shorts. We move on to the main event winner, Manel Kape. I knew he was going to get it done. It was an easy pick. Honestly, don't make him wait. He called out Joshua Van, and Joshua Van called him out again. Do it in February. Tatsuro Taira is not going to sell. That's not a hyped up fight. I'm sorry for Taira. Taira can have his moment. He can have his title shot, just not right now. It's an unfortunate situation with the Pantoja ordeal. Pantoja's got to heal. He's going to be out. Joshua Van is very active. He took no damage. Manel Kape took no damage either. Do it in February. Do it 2 months from now. What's the holdup? They could do it a co-main event, or they can do it a main event. They did a main event with Pantoja versus Erceg. Do another main event flyweight fight in a numbered card. It's fine by me. And I think this would be a good one. And the reason why Joshua Van called out Kape in return is because he knows it's a winnable fight. He is scared of a guy like Tatsuro Taira. He is scared of a guy like Pantoja because they are backpack merchants. And he can't count on getting another easy freebie fluke injury with Taira, just like he got against Pantoja. This is a winnable fight for Joshua Van. It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Manel Kape is fast, but so is Van. But Manel Kape has power, but so does Van too. It's great. I wouldn't be more excited for a flyweight title shot than this. It's perfect, and I don't think Joshua Van's going to last long as a champion, and I don't mind seeing Manel Kape as a champion. He's entertaining. I love his trash talk. We need some more black representation. When's the last time we had a black champion who isn't he who shall not be named, who ducks Tom Aspinall, you know? Remember, we used to have Usman, we used to have Adesanya and Ngannou all in the same era, and now they're gone. They're all gone. They're never going to be champion again. So let's see Manel Kape go in there. These are the fights to make. Let me know if you disagree. I think these are perfect. I really do. Except for like Milky Costa. Like, honestly, Dan Ige isn't the most perfect fight. It's just that featherweight's kind of locked down. And Josh Emmett belongs with Kevin Vallejos. I don't want to see Josh Emmett with Milky Costa. Josh Emmett belongs with Vallejos. So I think the best pick is Sean Brady versus Amosov. I think that's easy. And Asplin could fight some other heavyweights. He doesn't have to fight Mick Parkin. I just don't want him to like waste his time with a guy like Bujlo, you know? Marek Bujlo. I don't want him to waste his time against some of those lower level guys. Mick Parkin needs a fight. He's a name. I think it'll be a good scrap. So that's all I got for this video. The fights that need to happen. Subscribe to my channel, motherfuckers. Last I checked, we're like at 499. I just need one more subscriber to hit 500. And yeah, it's going to be a long 6 weeks. Holy shit. The UFC is really the only thing that keeps me going. But we've got AJ versus Jake Paul. We've got a Ryzen event coming soon. Stay tuned for more videos. Peace out.